Hi and welcome to the channel. I just wanted to do this recap because the first video that I did was a bit rushed and I didn't really know if I really wanted to do it after the procedure, so I was a bit tired and wasn't really sure, but I did it in the end. So this is just to go over exactly what happened in the first few days, starting off with the before pictures of how my hair was. So, as you may or may not be able to tell, I'm from England. I flew out from Heathrow, Terminal 5. Didn't really get asked for any certificates of COVID or anything when we were leaving. So it was pretty straightforward at the time, but I'm aware the rules may be changing for COVID with the new variant that's going on about now. Landed in Turkey, had to go to gate 13 and was waited on by a gentleman with an ASLI TARCAN sign that took us to the clinic. And when we got to the clinic, the first port of call was to have a consultation with Yumi. He was my interpreter, who you can see now, sort of. So he was going over my grafts to see how many strands I had on my grafts and if they were good enough. So that's what he's doing here, which everybody goes through. Also had an idea of how many grafts I'd be taking and where from as well. So I went through that. I'll be taking it from the back of my head and from under my beard. After that, I went to get some bloods done. Not sure what happened with those bloods. I don't know if they were for the PRP treatment the next day or what, but I wasn't told of any results of the blood test that they took there. So after that, we then went on to pay. I wasn't really allowed to record here, so we were told to stop recording. That's where we made the payments. The next day, went back in, had my hair washed and cut underneath my beard to get ready for the grafts to be taken out. So yeah, so just cleaned up, shaved up the bit under my beard and washed my hair. And I think they ended up bandaging it after that, which you'll see in the next couple of pictures. Yeah, but that's how I normally looked anyway with my hair, so it didn't really bother me that they shaved my hair. I grew my hair just so they had an idea of how it was at the time. So yeah, so it didn't really bother me that they shaved it there. These ones are now with the bandages under my chin. So that's just from the hair wash, and I think they're just protecting underneath my beard. Then it was time to go and get the grafts out. So just a short walk down the corridor where they started to mark up where they were going to extract the grafts from my donor area. So that was the position I was in when they were taking it out as well. I did get moved. I was there for quite a bit actually, so be prepared to be sitting in there for quite a bit. I did change positions to my sides, on both sides, when they were working their way around. But yeah, you do change a number of positions. That's me and my boy there who came with me. He's doing some of the recordings after they'd taken the grafts. Next thing was to get the line up. So you need to be sure where you want your line. So before you go, I would suggest that you have an idea of where you want your hairline to be from, because it did take us about 20 minutes. This went on for about 20 minutes trying to get the line straight and from where I wanted. I mean, they had their own idea of where to put my hairline, but I had my own idea of where I wanted it. So it is a bit of a negotiation, which it shouldn't really be, because it's your head and your choice. So at least have an idea of where you do want your lines to be. But yeah, as I said, this section did take quite a while. It wasn't a quick process. They were doing the lines and I was looking in the mirror, asking my friend if it was straight. So yeah, this is probably the most important part, so be sure you're happy with your lines, because this is what's going to be with you basically till the end. So if they have to do it again, they have to do it again. Just make sure you're happy with it, not they're happy with it. Make sure you're happy with it. Then went into putting the grafts in. This took overall took about 4 hours, because I did have 5,000 grafts from the back of my head and another 1,000 from underneath my chin. So this bit took 4 hours. I was there all day. I didn't leave there. I think I was the last procedure to finish, sometime around 8 o'clock. But yeah, it did take a while. Even taking the grafts out from the back of my head, that took about 4 hours as well. There you can see the saline, the drip. So you're always connected to the drip, apart from when you need to go to the toilet or have a lunch break, then they stop the connection, and then when you go back, they put the connection back in. So that's a few videos of them actually taking the grafts out. My friend was quite interested and fascinated on how they did it. Now, I didn't feel nothing. You can't really feel nothing at this stage, so which was very good. So I'm wide awake. I didn't have no earplugs in or any music or anything going, so I was just there. You can feel the cuts that they do make on your head, which is quite... You can't feel it, you can hear it and sort of feel a sensation, but you can't really feel no pain. There's no pain or anything like that. So that's everything done in the end. That was the hotel that I stayed in, the Encore Ramada. It wasn't bad. And there's the lady herself. On the last day, she did come round as I was leaving, so I managed to grab a quick picture with her. There's me leaving, or getting to the Istanbul airport, which was only 40 minutes away from the hotel. It cost us just under 200 Turkish lira to get there. We were going to be picked up and took there from the clinic, but they wanted to leave too early, so we just made our own arrangements. That's me on the plane with my neck pillow, making sure I don't bang anything on the plane or anything like that. And yeah, so in the end, I paid $3,000 for 5,000 to 6,000 grafts at ASLI TARCAN, and I'm glad I went. And anybody who's thinking of going, I will suggest you go as soon as you can, because they did mention that they were going to be putting their prices up in January. So I don't know whether you can actually contact them now to get a price, and then they might hold the price or honour that price until you go there. I have heard that they do honour the price for up to a year. So I don't know whether it might be a good idea to actually contact them now, get a price and stick to that price, because they were saying they hadn't increased their prices for a year and a half, and they were going to do it in January. So that might be an idea if you're thinking about it. Then I would suggest it, just make contact and get a price. It gives you a year and take it from there. But as I said, I'm very glad I went. They did look after me. They did do a lot of checks during the whole process, coming in, checking my blood pressure, because I've got a high blood pressure, which I take medication for. So they were coming in, making sure I was all right, doing blood pressure checks and everything like that every couple of hours. So they are aware of all your medical issues and anything that might complicate things. They do get ahead of that and are very good regarding that. I think I've covered everything. They do give you the medications at the end of the procedure. So I started that evening with the medications. They give you enough medications for up to a week, I think. So I'm still taking up some medications now, and it's 5-6 days later and I've still got some more left. I've still in contact with Yumi. Contacted him a few times with questions. He gets back to me straight away still, which is good. Can't complain about that. So just because I've come and gone and paid, that the connection hasn't been lost, it's still there, so that's still great. And that's about it, I think. Anything that I've missed, you can put the questions down below, try and get them answered as soon as I can. But as I said, I'm really glad I went. It's a really well run clinic, and I would recommend anybody who's thinking about going or even have chosen there and they're not sure about it to definitely, well, I will definitely go back, that's for sure, if I wanted any work done, or if any of my friends needed to go or were asking me to go, I would definitely recommend them. But as I said, anything I've missed, just leave them down below in the comment section. I'll try and get back to you and get them answered. Thanks for listening, going through the video. Hopefully I'll be doing as many videos to keep you updated with how everything is going. And yeah, see you soon.